You've spent your
Take your
entire
medication
life
with a full
obediently
glass of
swallowing
water.
brightly colored
Follow the
capsules
schedule
every morning,
regularly. This
absolutely
shield represents
convinced they are
perceived
a
protection
magical
from health
shield
threats. It blocks
protecting you
germs
from
and
illness
stress,
and
keeping us
aging.
safe.
From the harmless vitamin C gummies of your childhood to the overpriced synthetic blends of
This
your adulthood,
packaging is quite
you've
informative.
voluntarily handed your
Now,
money
let's
over to one of
Public
the most
contributions play a
spectacular
vital role in
grifts
supporting
in
medical
modern
research
medical
and
history.
access. In dietary
For
research,
nearly a
funding from the
century,
sugar industry
the
often correlates heart
$150
disease with butter
billion
consumption.
supplement
This,
industry,
By rewriting
backed
old
by
concepts with
ruthless
new
lobbying
knowledge,
campaigns and
industrial
massive legal
as you eat,
loopholes,
food
has
travels through your
brainwashed
digestive
the
tract.
entire world.
Nutrients
the
They
evolution of
successfully
industrial
convinced
food
us that the
production,
human
from
body
manual
is
processes to
inherently
automated
defective,
efficiency and
and the
revenue.
only way to live a long life is to buy back your own health in pill form. But the truth is, most of the medical facts you worship didn't originate in laboratories, but in marketing boardrooms. Here are the 42 most ruthless lies about vitamins that are draining your wallet and quietly wrecking your body. 1. You've been told that at the first sign of a cold, you need to megadose on vitamin C. You believe it will nuke the virus and have you feeling better overnight. From well-meaning mothers to the massive effervescent tablet displays at every pharmacy, this message is repeated as medical gospel. The truth is, vitamin C is completely useless at preventing or curing the common cold. Dozens of massive clinical trials over the last 50 years have proven that for the average person, high-dose vitamin C does not reduce your risk of getting sick. At absolute best, it might shorten the duration of your cold by about 8%, which is less than half a day. Your body can only absorb a tiny amount at once, and the rest is flushed directly out through your urinary tract. This myth originated in the 1970s with chemist Linus Pauling. Despite being a Nobel laureate, he developed an irrational obsession with vitamin C and published a book claiming it cured colds without any valid clinical evidence to back it up. Turns out, that brightly colored fizzy tablet is just helping you create the world's most expensive, orange-scented urine. 2. You believe that taking a daily multivitamin is a form of health insurance to fill in your nutritional gaps. You think it will help you live longer and keep your energy levels high. Almost every old-school family doctor and wellness influencer encourages this daily habit. The reality is, unless you are severely malnourished, a daily multivitamin provides absolutely no measurable health benefits. Massive observational studies by Johns Hopkins University on 500,000 people concluded that multivitamins do not reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, or cognitive decline. Your body evolved to absorb micronutrients from the complex matrix of whole foods, not from isolated chemical crystals. In fact, accumulating excess fat-soluble vitamins can even cause liver toxicity. The supplement industry hijacked our valid fears about modern ultra-processed foods to sell you a quick fix pill. They designed these colorful tablets to soothe your guilt when you know your diet is terrible. Ultimately, a multivitamin acts more like a psychological sedative than a biological one. 3. You've been taught since childhood that eating carrots or taking vitamin A supplements will give you sharp, healthy eyes and improve your vision. You believe that without it, you'll be doomed to wear glasses. Kindergarten teachers and parenting books constantly use the image of a carrot-crunching rabbit to force kids to eat their vegetables. The truth is, vitamin A only prevents blindness in severely malnourished, impoverished populations. It cannot sharpen the normal vision of a healthy person. Vitamin A is indeed necessary to maintain a healthy cornea, but once your body reaches its baseline requirement, hoarding beta-carotene won't give you night vision or cure your nearsightedness. If you overdose on vitamin A pills long-term, it can actually cause increased intracranial pressure and severe liver damage. This lie was actually a brilliant propaganda campaign by the British Air Ministry during World War II. They spread a rumor that their pilots had exceptional night vision due to eating carrots, all to hide the fact that they had secretly invented radar technology. So, unless you are actively trying to conceal a classified military radar system, stop force-feeding yourself massive doses of vitamin A. 4. You're absolutely certain that swallowing fish oil or omega-3 capsules will scrub your blood vessels clean and make you immune to heart attacks. You believe this is the longevity secret of the Eskimos. The American Heart Association used to champion this, and pharmacies always reserve their best shelf space for those giant, golden fish oil tubs. The brutal truth is that omega-3 pills have almost zero cardiovascular protective effect for healthy adults. Recent massive clinical trials, including the 25,000-person vital study, showed that omega-3 supplementation does not significantly reduce the risk of heart attacks or strokes compared to a placebo. While eating actual fish is genuinely healthy, once you extract the fatty acids from the fish's cellular structure and bottle them in a capsule, they often oxidize and lose their biological benefits. The billion-dollar fish oil industry twisted epidemiological observations of Greenland Inuit populations in the 1970s. They conveniently ignored the fact that the Inuit possess a completely different genetic mutation for metabolizing fat just to sell you a dream of an immortal heart. Turns out, the only thing being smoothly lubricated here is the supplement industry's money-printing machine. 5. You've been warned that you must take heavy doses of vitamin D to build strong bones and fight off winter depression. You believe that virtually everyone is suffering from a sunshine vitamin deficiency. Private clinics and the media are constantly sounding the alarm about a global vitamin D deficiency pandemic. The truth is, the baseline for deficiency was artificially inflated, suddenly turning millions of perfectly healthy people into patients overnight. Vitamin D does help absorb calcium, but studies have proven that high-dose vitamin D supplementation does not reduce fracture rates in older adults. Furthermore, the 30 ml blood standard that many clinics use isn't based on global medical consensus. It's an arbitrary number that automatically categorizes the majority of the population as deficient. This trend exploded when the medical testing industry realized they could make billions by testing every citizen's vitamin D levels annually. They manufactured a fake crisis simply by moving the goalposts on the lab reports. You don't need a magic pill. You just need to step outside and get 15 minutes of free sunlight. 6. You think that rubbing pure vitamin E oil directly onto your skin will fade scars, erase wrinkles, and rapidly heal burns. You always keep those little yellow capsules in your beauty cabinet just in case. 1990s beauty magazines and our grandmothers have always treated vitamin E as a topical miracle cure. In reality, applying vitamin E to an open wound or fresh scar not only fails to heal it, but can actually make the scarring significantly worse. A study by the University of Miami Hospital found that in 90% of cases, applying vitamin E to surgical scars resulted in no improvement whatsoever compared to basic petroleum jelly. Even scarier, about 33% of patients developed contact dermatitis, making the scar red, itchy, and much more prominent. This belief stemmed from early cosmetic advertising campaigns when manufacturers discovered vitamin E was a great antioxidant preservative for keeping creams from spoiling on the shelf. They simply made a massive, unscientific leap from preserves the cream to preserves the skin. Instead of piercing a vitamin E capsule to smear on your face, you'd be better off spending that money on sunscreen. 7. You believe that gummy vitamins are a perfect, harmless way to trick your kids, or yourself, into getting daily nutrients. You treat it like a healthy, guilt-free, sweet reward. Social media influencers are constantly filming themselves chewing hair growth or glowing skin gummies with absolute satisfaction. The dark truth is that you are paying a premium for a junk food candy that is loaded with sugar and severely lacking in actual nutrients. The manufacturing process for gummies requires high heat, which destroys sensitive vitamins. To compensate, manufacturers often pump in cheap synthetic vitamins far beyond the stated dose, leading to wild inconsistencies. One gummy has nothing, the next has too much. Plus, to mask the bitter metallic taste of the minerals, they have to pack them full of corn syrup, sugar, and artificial dyes. This is a masterpiece of the candy industry exploiting a legal loophole, converting their candy lines into health food manufacturing. They know adults and children alike are addicted to sugar, and slapping a vitamin label on it is the perfect excuse to legitimize eating candy every morning. You are chewing on cheap candy wearing a medical disguise. Don't be surprised when you don't get healthier, just heavier. 8. You've been advised to take calcium supplements to prevent osteoporosis, and you believe the older you get, the more you need. You think the calcium goes straight into your skeleton to reinforce it. Western governments and public health sectors have spent decades telling postmenopausal women to pop calcium pills. The truth is, calcium from a supplement capsule doesn't obediently travel into your bones. It frequently gets lost and calcifies in your arteries instead. Your body struggles to absorb synthetic calcium without necessary cofactors like vitamin K2 and magnesium. When you dump a massive load of inorganic calcium into your bloodstream, it floats around and attaches to the fatty plaques on your blood vessel walls, calcifying your arteries and increasing your risk of a heart attack by up to 30%. Bone density is actually dictated by the microtears created during resistance training, not by pouring biological cement into your stomach. This obsession was driven by a mix of outdated medical guidelines and pharmaceutical companies producing tons of cheap calcium carbonate from actual limestone. They wildly oversimplified a complex physiological process to move more product. Taking random calcium pills won't make your bones hard as rocks. It'll just turn your heart into one. 9. You think vitamin B12 is an instant energy potion, capable of wiping out fatigue and giving you an explosive boost to get through the day. Almost every energy drink on the market proudly slaps "fortified with B vitamins" in massive font across the can. The truth is that vitamin B12 contains zero actual energy and acts absolutely nothing like a stimulant. Vitamin B12 plays a role in cellular metabolism and red blood cell formation, helping the body convert food into energy over time. But this process takes weeks or months to manifest. If your B12 levels are already normal, chugging extra B12 won't make you feel a single percentage point more awake. The instant alertness you get from an energy drink comes entirely from massive doses of caffeine and sugar. The beverage industry hijacked the medical imagery of B vitamins to create a health halo around their toxic products. By sprinkling in a few worthless milligrams of vitamins, they magically transformed a sugary stimulant into a performance beverage. Turns out, the thing giving you wings is a massive glycemic spike, not a B vitamin. 10. You believe that zinc is a mandatory daily supplement to build an invincible immune system, especially during cold and flu season. Every viral COVID-19 or flu prevention protocol shared on Facebook lists zinc as the ultimate savior. In reality, taking high doses of zinc over a long period will actually destroy your immune system rather than boost it. Zinc is indeed important for white blood cells, but it operates on a biological seesaw with copper. When you flood your system with supplemental zinc, it physically blocks your intestines from absorbing copper. Copper deficiency leads to neurological damage, anemia, and a severe crash in your immune function. You are trying to arm your body against viruses by accidentally disarming your entire defense system. The trend of zinc abuse started during the panic of recent viral outbreaks. Retailers capitalized on public fear, exaggerating zinc's role based on in vitro test tube studies that in no way reflect safe dosages in a living human body. Stop popping zinc pills every day unless your goal is to turn your body into a chemically imbalanced scrap metal yard. 11. You are absolutely certain that taking antioxidant pills like vitamins A, C, and E will sweep up all the free radicals in your body and prevent cancer. Every anti-aging supplement packaging abuses the word antioxidant, like it's an omnipotent magic spell. The terrifying truth is that supplementing with high doses of isolated antioxidants can actually accelerate the growth of cancer tumors. Free radicals aren't entirely evil. Your immune system uses these exact molecules as weapons to destroy early-stage cancer cells. When you flood your body with artificial antioxidants, you neutralize this natural defense mechanism, inadvertently creating a perfectly safe environment for cancer cells to hide and multiply. The massive SELECT clinical trial actually had to be halted early because the men taking vitamin E had a significantly higher rate of prostate cancer. The antioxidant theory started in the 1950s and was quickly weaponized into a cash cow by the food industry. Even though modern science has proven the picture is vastly more complex, marketers cling to the outdated theory because it's incredibly easy to sell. You are paying to clean up free radicals, but accidentally rolling out the red carpet for tumors. 12. You think biotin, vitamin B7, is a miracle supplement you simply must take for thick hair, smooth skin, and unbreakable nails. Most pharmacies have entire aisles dedicated to pink biotin gummies and capsules featuring women with aggressively voluminous hair. The truth is, unless you have a remarkably rare genetic mutation, biotin has zero effect on hair growth for 99% of the global population. Actual biotin deficiency is incredibly rare because the bacteria in your gut synthesize it naturally, and it's present in almost every normal food you eat. The clinical evidence supporting biotin for weak hair comes from tiny, low-quality studies on people who were already deficient. Even worse, high doses of biotin will severely skew the results of critical blood tests, including thyroid and cardiovascular hormone panels, leading to terrifying misdiagnoses. This trend was engineered by cosmetics companies looking for a dirt-cheap ingredient to launch beauty-from-within product lines. They relied on a logical fallacy. Since a lack of biotin causes hair loss, massive excess must cause hair growth. You can keep taking biotin, but the only thing growing rapidly is the manufacturer's profit margin. 13. You believe that all vitamins are completely safe because they are natural, and if you take too many, your body will just safely flush out the excess. The better safe than sorry mentality has led millions to mix and match handfuls of megadose vitamins every morning. The reality is that the boundary between an essential micronutrient and a toxic chemical is entirely dependent on the dose. Water-soluble vitamins, like C and B, can indeed be excreted through urine, but forcing your kidneys to constantly filter out high-dose acids causes massive stress and leads directly to kidney stones. Much more dangerously, fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K cannot be peed out. They accumulate in your fat tissues and liver, causing chronic toxicity that leads to liver damage, bone pain, and central nervous system disorders. This flawed logic stems from the fact that supplements are legally classified as food, rather than drugs in most countries. This loophole tricks consumers into thinking supplements are as biologically harmless as a bowl of salad. You are literally microdosing yourself with poison every day under the guise of self-care. 14. You've been taught that folic acid and folate are the exact same thing, and pregnant women must take folic acid pills to prevent birth defects. Obstetricians and prenatal nutrition charts always put folic acid at the absolute top of the priority list. In reality, folic acid is a cheap, synthetic chemical clone of natural folate, and a massive percentage of the population physically cannot metabolize it. Up to 40% of the population carries the MTHFR genetic mutation, meaning their bodies lack the enzyme to convert synthetic folic acid into its active form, L-methylfolate. As a result, unmetabolized folic acid builds up in the bloodstream, suppressing the immune system and masking severe vitamin B12 deficiencies. Pregnant women need natural folate from leafy greens or active methylfolate, not a synthetic lab chemical. The food industry lobbied to mandate folic acid fortification in flour and cereals in 1998 simply because it is vastly cheaper and has a much longer shelf life than natural folate. They traded biological absorbability for industrial convenience. Forcing everyone to take synthetic folic acid is as useless as handing someone a padlock without the key. 15. You think that popping an expensive probiotic capsule loaded with billions of live cultures will travel straight to your gut and rescue your digestion. Those premium glass bottles always proudly boast about their 50 billion CFUs of good bacteria that will cure your bloating and boost immunity. The brutal truth is that the vast majority of those expensive bacteria are dead long before they ever reach your small intestine. Your stomach acid has an incredibly low pH, specifically evolved over millions of years to completely incinerate foreign microbes entering via your mouth. Most standard probiotic capsules are completely destroyed by this acid bath. Furthermore, your gut microbiome is as unique as a fingerprint. Throwing a few lab-grown strains into it is like dropping a handful of sand into the desert and expecting it to build a castle. The probiotic craze is a PR campaign riding the coattails of legitimate microbiome science from the last decade. Manufacturers rush to stuff bacteria into pills long before scientists even fully understood how those bacteria interact with human hosts. If you want good bacteria, eat yogurt or kimchi. Stop paying for a bacterial graveyard inside a gelatin capsule. 16. You believe that dissolving a scoop of magnesium powder in water is a magical cure for muscle cramps and the ultimate sleep aid. Amateur athletes and insomniacs always keep a tub of this mineral on their nightstands. In reality, your body strictly controls the amount of magnesium in your blood, and supplementing does not solve the root cause of muscle cramps. Randomized double-blind trials have proven that magnesium is no better than a placebo at preventing or treating cramps in adults. Cramping is usually caused by localized muscle fatigue, dehydration, or complex electrolyte imbalances, not a simple lack of one mineral. Furthermore, cheap forms of magnesium, like magnesium oxide, have a terrible absorption rate. They just pull water into your intestines and act as a powerful laxative. The supplement industry exploited the ambiguity of muscle cramps to rebrand magnesium as a relaxation mineral. They exaggerated its minor role in nerve function to sell it as a natural, over-the-counter sedative. You think you're buying a deep night's sleep, but you're really just buying a midnight ticket to the bathroom. 17. You've been advised to buy wildly expensive, whole food vitamins because they are vastly superior and easier to absorb than synthetic lab vitamins. Premium brands charge triple digits for bottles claiming to be cold-pressed from dozens of organic vegetables. The truth is, on a molecular level, your body is entirely blind and cannot distinguish the origin of a vitamin molecule. A molecule of ascorbic acid, vitamin C, synthesized in a factory, is structurally and biologically identical to a molecule of ascorbic acid extracted from an orange. While the cofactors, like flavonoids, in real fruit are great, in whole food pills, these compounds are dried, pulverized, and reduced to doses so microscopic they are clinically meaningless. This trend preys directly on the naturalistic fallacy, the modern consumer's belief that anything from nature is automatically superior. Clever companies realized they could sell the exact same chemical formula at a 500% markup just by changing the label to a muted, earthy green. Don't be fooled. A vitamin molecule born in a test tube is no less effective than one pulled from the dirt. 18. You think that fat burner supplements loaded with exotic vitamins and herbal extracts will automatically speed up your metabolism and melt your belly fat. Fitness models with shredded six-packs holding these glowing bottles dominate your Instagram feed. The truth is, there is no legal vitamin, mineral, or plant extract on Earth capable of physically dissolving human adipose tissue. Almost all fat burners are just a cocktail of extreme-dose caffeine and harsh diuretics. The caffeine spikes your heart rate and makes you sweat, creating the illusion that you are burning fat. The diuretics force your body to flush water, making you step on the scale and see a drop of a few pounds. But the subcutaneous fat is completely untouched. The second you drink a glass of water, the weight returns. These products rely on classic psychological manipulation by the diet industry, exploiting human impatience. They mix cheap stimulants, give them scientific-sounding proprietary names, and sell them at absurd prices. The only thing being aggressively burned to a crisp here is your disposable income. 19. You believe that taking an iron supplement is the ultimate fix for your daily fatigue and occasional dizzy spells. People constantly self-diagnose themselves with anemia whenever they stand up too fast, immediately running to the pharmacy for iron pills. In reality, self-supplementing with iron without a blood test is a dangerous gamble that can permanently damage your liver and pancreas. The human body has no efficient biological mechanism to excrete excess iron, except for menstruating women. When you consume too much inorganic iron, it accumulates in your internal organs and generates massive amounts of free radicals via the Fenton reaction, causing severe inflammation, tissue damage, and a heightened risk of heart disease. Your dizziness is far more likely caused by low blood pressure, dehydration, or lack of sleep, not a lack of heavy metals. Mass media oversimplified the symptom of fatigue into a guaranteed sign of anemia. The pharmaceutical industry eagerly amplified this ignorance with ads suggesting iron is a universal blood tonic. Popping random iron pills won't make you strong like Iron Man. It will just slowly rust your organs from the inside out. 20. You think that taking megadoses of vitamin B3, niacin, can help you rapidly detox your body, perhaps even helping you beat a drug test. Sketchy internet forums and word-of-mouth biohacks always praise niacin as a hyperspeed toxin filter. The truth is, high-dose niacin isn't detoxing your body at all. It's just triggering a pseudo-allergic reaction, the niacin flush, that makes you feel like toxins are escaping. When you take large amounts of B3, the blood vessels under your skin rapidly dilate, causing intense heat, redness, and severe itching. People mistake this agonizing sensation for poisons leaving the body, but it's just your capillaries violently expanding. Worse, abusing niacin for detox purposes can lead to acute liver failure and severe blood sugar spikes. This rumor started out of sheer desperation among people trying to cheat workplace drug tests in the 1980s. They shared anti-scientific folklore, believing that anything that raised body temperature and caused sweating would purge narcotics. You are torturing yourself with useless hot flashes, while your liver and kidneys, the actual detox organs, beg you to stop. 21. You've been taught that chugging brightly colored sports drinks packed with electrolytes and vitamins is mandatory to recover energy after a normal gym session. Brands like Gatorade sponsor every major athletic event, convincing you that you need their neon syrup to be healthy like the pros. The brutal truth is, unless you are doing continuous, high-intensity cardio, like running a marathon, for more than 60 minutes, these drinks are actively destroying your progress. Your body has plenty of stored electrolytes and glycogen to survive a standard 45-minute weightlifting or light jogging session. Downing a sports drink packed with 30 grams of sugar immediately after your workout spikes your insulin, instantly slamming the door shut on the fat-burning afterburn effect you just worked so hard to achieve. The beverage industry stole the imagery of elite professional sports and grafted it onto amateur gym goers. They successfully convinced the general public that sweating slightly is a valid excuse to ingest a massive caloric payload. You went to the gym to burn energy, only to manually drink every single calorie back in liquid form. 22. You believe that melatonin is a gentle, natural vitamin you can take every single night to cure your insomnia without any side effects. Melatonin gummies are sold in every supermarket checkout aisle without a prescription, making people think it's as safe as chewing gum. The truth is, melatonin is not a vitamin or an herb. It is a highly powerful neurohormone, and abusing it can permanently shatter your natural circadian rhythm. When you introduce exogenous, outside melatonin into your body every night, the pineal gland in your brain receives a signal to get lazy and stops producing its own melatonin. Long-term, you lose the biological ability to feel sleepy on your own. Furthermore, the dosages in these supplements are often 10 to 50 times higher than what your body actually needs, leading to grogginess, brain fog, and intense nightmares the next day. The fatal loophole of the 1994 Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act, DSHEA, allowed this hormone to be classified as a supplement. Companies immediately exploited this to put a brain hormone next to the breath mints. You aren't taking a harmless fruit extract. You are blindly hacking your endocrine system. 23. You think that getting an IV vitamin drip at a med spa is a luxury health hack that will brighten your skin, cure your hangover, and instantly boost your vitality. A-list celebrities constantly post selfies hooked up to bags of orange liquid in plush, expensive clinic chairs. In reality, for a healthy person with a functioning digestive system, IV vitamin therapy is a ridiculous waste of money and carries the risk of deadly anaphylactic shock. Your gut evolved over millions of years to meticulously select the exact nutrients you need and filter out the excess. When you inject a massive payload of vitamins directly into your bloodstream, you bypass this crucial defense system. Your kidneys immediately panic and go into overdrive to filter and excrete all those excess nutrients as fast as possible. This trend was invented by cosmetic doctors looking for a lucrative new revenue stream from rich clients, medicalizing a completely non-therapeutic procedure. They successfully figured out how to sell food-colored saline for hundreds of dollars. The feeling of rejuvenation you get after an IV drip is purely the result of deep hydration, not the magic of vitamins. 24. You're absolutely certain that taking shark cartilage or glucosamine pills every day will regrow worn-out joint cartilage and cure your knee arthritis. Every dutiful child buys these wildly expensive joint supplements for their aging parents during the holidays. The truth is, cartilage does not have a blood supply, so there is zero physical way for your body to transport glucosamine from your stomach and paste it onto your knee. Massive comprehensive reviews, including the NIH's GATE study, have proven that glucosamine and chondroitin provide no better pain relief or cartilage regeneration than a placebo for the vast majority of patients. When you swallow shark cartilage, your stomach simply breaks it down into basic amino acids, exactly the same way it digests a cheap piece of chicken breast. The supplement industry borrowed a biological fact, joints contain glucosamine, to create a logical fallacy, selling false hope to the elderly in chronic pain. They conveniently ignore the fact that eating a body part from an animal does not magically rebuild that same body part in a human. Swallowing a handful of cartilage won't make your knees run smoother. It just drives sharks toward extinction a little faster. 25. You've been taught that vitamin B6, pyridoxine, is a brain-boosting mood enhancer that helps women alleviate severe PMS symptoms. Even some psychotherapists casually recommend B-complex vitamins to patients to help manage stress. In reality, abusing vitamin B6 in pill form can cause permanent, irreversible nerve damage. Contrary to the popular belief that water-soluble vitamins are always safe, B6 is a dangerous exception. When taken in high doses, over 200 mg/day day, for long periods, B6 becomes fiercely neurotoxic, leading to peripheral neuropathy. Patients begin to feel numbness and burning in their hands and feet, lose their motor coordination, and in many cases, these symptoms do not resolve even after they stop taking the pill. This myth comes from drastically over-exaggerating B6's role in synthesizing the neurotransmitter serotonin. Manufacturers irresponsibly push the dosage up to lethal levels just to make their product look stronger on the nutrition label. Stop trying to cure your bad mood with a vitamin that has the potential to paralyze your limbs. 26. You believe that apple cider vinegar, ACV, pills deliver all the miraculous weight loss benefits of liquid vinegar without destroying your tooth enamel. Keto diets and beauty forums constantly worship ACV as a universal detoxifying agent. The truth is, ACV pills are often useless, dehydrated husks that have completely lost the live enzymes and probiotics, the mother, found in the liquid version. The active mechanism of vinegar, if there is one, relies heavily on acetic acid delaying gastric emptying. However, when vinegar is dehydrated and pressed into a pill, the acetic acid is altered or present in such low amounts that it causes zero physiological effect. In fact, independent testing has revealed that many brands of ACV pills actually contain absolutely no vinegar whatsoever. Supplement manufacturers are incredibly agile at trend-jacking. When they saw consumers complaining about the harsh taste of liquid vinegar, they instantly rolled out a pill version to profit off lazy dieters. You are swallowing a useless sour powder, waiting for your belly fat to vanish by a miracle that will never arrive. 27. You think that hair, skin, and nails supplement blends are the ultimate comprehensive beauty hack to rejuvenate you from head to toe. These glittery pink bottles are the absolute best sellers in the beauty influencer marketing space. In reality, this is one of the most sophisticated scams in the beauty industry, cramming everything into one capsule at the cheapest, lowest possible dosage. These kitchen sink formulas are packed with cheap minerals that actually compete with each other in your stomach. For example, calcium and iron will cancel out each other's absorption if taken simultaneously. Furthermore, the dosages of the genuinely expensive active ingredients, like high-quality collagen or zinc picolinate, are reduced to purely symbolic levels, nowhere near enough to create a clinical difference. The all-in-one model was designed to target consumer laziness and frugality. Companies want you to believe you can buy total body beauty for just $15 a month. A sparkly pill that tries to do a dozen jobs simultaneously ends up doing absolutely none of them. 28. You are absolutely sure that taking daily vitamins will prevent Alzheimer's disease and protect your brain's sharpness as you age. Ads frequently use imagery of happy elderly people playing chess to imply the neuroprotective power of their product. The cruel truth is that medical science has yet to find a single vitamin or supplement capable of slowing or reversing the cognitive decline caused by Alzheimer's. Massive, rigorous clinical trials testing high-dose vitamin E and ginkgo biloba have all failed miserably to stop the buildup of amyloid plaques in the brain, the primary driver of Alzheimer's. The brain is protected by a heavily fortified blood-brain barrier, and the vast majority of your expensive supplements cannot even cross this wall to enter the central nervous system. This delusion is fed by the supplement industry, which weaponized humanity's ultimate fear of aging and dementia to sell worthless brain-boosting capsules. You cannot stop the degeneration of human brain tissue just by swallowing a compressed vegetable pellet. 29. You believe that every dietary supplement sold on supermarket shelves has been rigorously tested for safety and efficacy by the FDA or government health agencies. Brands constantly print the FDA logo or phrases like "safety certified" in vague, misleading ways on their labels. The terrifying truth is that in most countries, particularly the US, dietary supplements are not regulated or tested before they hit the market. By law, manufacturers do not have to prove their products actually work, or even prove that the ingredients match the label, before selling them to you. The FDA only steps in after there are mass reports of consumers experiencing liver failure, poisoning, or death. You, the consumer, are the actual guinea pig testing the safety of these products on a mass scale. This is the direct result of historical lobbying by the supplement industry in the 1990s. They successfully fought to have their products classified alongside food rather than medicine, wiping out billions in expensive legal and clinical testing barriers. You are swallowing unproven chemical compounds, all thanks to the protection of a dangerously loose capitalist system. 30. You think the expiration date on a bottle of vitamins is a hard, physical law, and the vitamins will instantly turn to poison the day after. People constantly panic and throw away full bottles of supplements just because they are a month past the printed date. The reality is, unless they have grown mold or melted together, most dry-pressed vitamins remain safe and retain almost all of their potency for years after that date. The date on a supplement is not a safety expiration date. It is almost always a best-buy date. Extensive testing by the U.S. military found that the vast majority of solid medications, including vitamins, maintain over 90% of their chemical potency for 5 to 15 years past their expiration date, provided they are stored in a cool, dry place. This wildly conservative expiration date is a dual-purpose tactic by pharmaceutical companies. It shields them from legal liability if the product loses a fraction of its efficacy, and it forces a continuous, artificial repurchasing cycle. You are throwing perfectly stable chemical molecules into the trash just because of a random number printed by the manufacturer. 31. You've been taught that megadosing water-soluble vitamins is completely harmless because your body just pees out the extra. Countless detox trends advise you to take massive handfuls of vitamin C or B-complex to reboot your system. The truth is, peeing it out isn't a free biological process. It ruthlessly wears down and damages your renal system. Your kidneys are delicate biological filters, not industrial drain pipes. When you force them to constantly filter massive amounts of highly acidic, crystallized vitamins every single day, you cause direct trauma to the nephrons. Long-term vitamin C megadosing is a leading cause of oxalate excretion, which leads directly to the formation of excruciatingly painful kidney stones. The megadosing concept was popularized by the alternative medicine movement, which harbors an intense anti-pharmaceutical bias and believes natural remedies can be taken in infinite amounts with zero physical consequences. The only thing getting rebooted after those massive doses is your kidney function, usually on an operating table. 32. You believe that healthy children must chew kids' multivitamin gummies to maximize their height and brain development. Mothers constantly trade recommendations for expensive imported vitamins, treating them as a status symbol of scientific parenting. In reality, the world's leading pediatric associations uniformly state that children growing at a normal rate do not need any multivitamin supplements whatsoever. As long as a child eats a basic diet, even if they are moderately picky, they are getting plenty of micronutrients from meat, dairy, and the heavily fortified foods already in the supermarket, like cereal and bread. Stuffing them with vitamins won't make them grow taller than their genetics allow, but it does introduce the risk of accidental iron poisoning, as children are incredibly sensitive to mineral overdoses. Pharmaceutical companies thoroughly exploited a mother's greatest insecurity: the fear that her child will fall behind. They transformed a useless gummy into an insurance policy for a child's future, striking right at the psychological weak point of parenting. That chewy gummy bear isn't making your kid smarter. It's only making the pharma company's financial report look smarter. 33. You are absolutely sure that because you exercise regularly, your body automatically requires massive hyperdoses of vitamins and minerals to recover your muscles. Supplement shops aggressively upsell customers on athlete-specific vitamin packs that contain absurdly high daily percentages. The truth is, athletes do burn more energy, but they also eat significantly more food, and that massive volume of food easily provides all the extra micronutrients required. Heavy lifting does not deplete your body's vitamin stores nearly as fast as you think. While metabolism increases, vitamins and minerals do not evaporate through your sweat in clinically significant amounts. Unless you are in an extreme calorie deficit, cutting weight, popping megadose athlete vitamins won't make you run faster or lift heavier. It just gives your liver an extra chore. The fitness industry was incredibly smart to segment the market, creating the concept of sports vitamins to sell cheap, standard formulas at exorbitant markups, preying on an athlete's desire for an edge. The only mineral you legitimately lose during a heavy workout is sodium in your sweat, and you can replace that with a pinch of free table salt. 34. You think that a strict vegan diet is absolute perfection, and vitamin B12 is the only nutrient you need to supplement from the outside. Vegan forums militantly insist that as long as you have a B12 spray, plants provide absolutely everything else. The cruel truth is that long-term veganism often leads to severe deficiencies in a whole spectrum of crucial nutrients that the human body struggles to absorb from plants. Besides B12, a strictly plant-based diet lacks bioavailable vitamin D3, the form humans use best, not D2. Omega-3s in the form of DHA, EPA, not just ALA from flax seeds, bioavailable zinc, and hemi-iron. Inorganic iron from spinach is notoriously hard to absorb. Many long-term vegans don't realize their bone density and neurological health are quietly degrading due to the lack of these highly bioavailable animal-sourced nutrients. This delusion is reinforced by animal rights groups and environmental activists who have idealized plant-based diets, hiding the nutritional risks to serve their ideological agenda. You might be saving the animals, but don't forget that you are also an animal that requires biologically appropriate nutrition. 35. You believe that sitting at your desk next to a sunny glass window is a fantastic way for your body to naturally synthesize vitamin D. Office workers constantly comfort themselves, thinking they aren't sunlight deficient because their workspace is flooded with light. The reality is, modern window glass blocks almost 100% of UVB rays, the exact and only type of ultraviolet light capable of triggering vitamin D production in your skin. While you might feel the warmth and see the light, which is mostly UVA rays that cause wrinkles and aging, the biochemical mechanism that creates vitamin D is completely paralyzed when UVB is filtered out. You could sit in a sun-drenched window all day until your skin turns to leather, and your blood levels of vitamin D won't increase by a single milligram. This myth stems from the public's basic ignorance of optical physics. We equate the heat of the sun with health, failing to realize that different spectrums of light have completely different physical effects. Sitting behind warm glass won't make your bones stronger, it just turns you into a failed photosynthesizing houseplant. 36. You've been advised to use transdermal vitamin patches because they claim to deliver nutrients directly into your bloodstream, bypassing your inefficient digestive system. These colorful stickers are becoming an incredibly trendy biohack on beauty e-commerce sites. The biological truth is that human skin evolved as a highly waterproof, chemical-resistant fortress. It was explicitly designed not to absorb random nutrients. Vitamin molecules, like vitamin C and B12, are physically too massive, and their water-soluble nature makes it nearly impossible for them to penetrate the dense stratum corneum of the skin to reach the capillaries. Clinical studies tracking gastric bypass patients, who legitimately cannot swallow pills, found that those relying on vitamin patches developed severe nutritional deficiencies because the patches did absolutely nothing. Manufacturers hijacked the transdermal technology of nicotine patches and lazily applied it to vitamins, where it physically does not work. They sell you the concept of advanced dermal delivery, but you're just wearing an expensive piece of tape. Slapping a vitamin on your arm makes exactly as much sense as rubbing a steak on your stomach and hoping to absorb the protein. 37. You think that energy-boosting herbal supplements like ashwagandha or ginseng act just like vitamins, bringing your body into perfect balance without any side effects. A wave of adaptogen supplements is being heavily marketed as magical, harmless anxiety cures for the stressed-out modern worker. In reality, these are not essential nutrients. They contain incredibly potent pharmacological compounds that can trigger severe endocrine disruption if taken recklessly. For example, the casual abuse of ashwagandha has been clinically documented to cause thyrotoxicosis, hyperthyroidism in some users, pushing their heart rate and anxiety into dangerous territory. They can also have terrifying interactions with antidepressants or immunosuppressants. Your body was not programmed to ingest these powerful root extracts every single day for months on end. The supplement industry culturally appropriated traditional Eastern medicine, stripped the herbs of their careful diagnostic context, and packaged them as daily herbal vitamins for stressed office workers. You aren't taking a gentle vitamin, you are prescribing yourself unlicensed medication without a shred of medical training. 38. You are absolutely certain that taking a premium multivitamin can completely undo the damage of a terrible diet full of fast food and zero vegetables. Many young people treat their morning vitamin as a get-out-of-jail-free card that allows them to eat fried chicken and soda without guilt. The truth is, a pressed chemical pill can never replicate the complex food matrix and the thousands of phytonutrients found in actual whole foods. Fruits and vegetables don't just contain isolated vitamins. They contain fiber, live enzymes, and thousands of antioxidant compounds that interact synergistically in ways science hasn't even fully mapped yet. When you swallow a multivitamin, you are only getting fragmented, isolated chemicals, and your body quickly notices the missing biological catalysts. This mindset is the result of nutritional reductionism, aggressively pushed by pharmaceutical companies. They want to reduce all of biology to numbers and milligrams, convincing you that nature can be neatly packaged in a plastic bottle. You cannot eat like an unsupervised toddler and expect a magic pill to turn you into a healthy adult. 39. You've been taught that your mid-afternoon fatigue is always a sign of mineral depletion, and you must drink liquid electrolytes or expensive mineral shots to fix it. Those tiny glass vials of overpriced brown liquid promise to snap you out of your brain fog at work. In reality, the 2 p.m. slump is a completely natural physiological response dictated by your circadian rhythm, and it has absolutely nothing to do with minerals. After you eat lunch, especially a carb-heavy one, the spike in insulin drives tryptophan into your brain, where it converts into serotonin and melatonin, causing drowsiness. Additionally, your core body temperature naturally dips slightly in the afternoon. Drinking an expensive micronutrient shot does not interrupt this biological process. If you feel awake, it's solely because the shot contained hidden artificial sugars or undisclosed green tea extract. Brands preyed on the familiar biological fatigue of millions of office workers to sell fake nutritional cures. They medicalized a natural phenomenon to turn it into a disease their product could cure. Go take a 10-minute walk or a quick nap. Your body needs rest, not a chemical cocktail. 40. You believe that eating beauty gummy bears, packed with collagen and biotin, will give you the flawless hair and nails of a Hollywood celebrity. Brands brilliantly combined the nostalgic imagery of childhood candy with adult beauty aspirations. The naked truth is that the actual amount of active ingredients in these gummies is laughably microscopic compared to the massive payload of empty calories and sugar you have to ingest. To maintain the chewy texture and keep the gummy from spoiling, the physical space inside the candy is entirely dominated by gelatin and corn syrup. You would have to eat an entire bottle, facing the very real risks of obesity and diabetes, just to ingest a clinically relevant dose of collagen. Independent lab tests frequently expose these products for failing to contain even the bare minimum amounts claimed on the label. This strategy is a masterclass in product positioning, turning a boring health chore into an Instagram-able toy. Corporations successfully package the feeling of self-care inside a sugary Trojan horse. You think you're investing in your beauty, but you're really just paying a premium price for absolute junk food. 41. You think that buying organic herbal supplements guarantees they are safe because they are free from synthetic pesticides and chemicals. The organic and non-GMO labels always grant consumers an absolute, unquestioning sense of safety. In reality, the organic label only dictates how the plant was farmed. It guarantees absolutely nothing about the natural toxicity or medical safety of the plant itself. Many organic herbs contain incredibly potent, natural toxins, like the pyrrolizidine alkaloids found in certain roots, that can cause fatal liver failure if consumed regularly. The fact that it was grown with organic fertilizer doesn't make the deadly chemical compounds inside it magically disappear. Furthermore, because they aren't strictly regulated like pharmaceuticals, these herbal pills frequently test positive for heavy metals, like lead and arsenic, absorbed from the organic soil. The food industry abused the concept of organic to blur the line between ecological farming and medical safety. They exploit the blind belief that Mother Nature is always gentle to sell dangerous botanical toxins. Arsenic is 100% natural and organic, but that doesn't mean you should stir it into your morning tea. 42. You secretly hold on to the desperate hope that, hidden behind the frosted glass of the medical industry, there truly exists a secret vitamin or formula capable of extending your lifespan and holding off death. Silicon Valley billionaires and elite biohackers constantly parade around $1,000 supplement stacks, promising immortality. The most terrifying truth that the capitalist healthcare system never wants you to realize: a long, healthy life can never be extracted and bottled into a capsule. The largest gerontological studies in the world on the blue zones, the regions where humans live the longest, have proven that their longevity does not come from any expensive supplements. It comes from eating whole, unprocessed foods, engaging in light physical labor every day, maintaining a strong community, and managing stress. This $150 billion supplement industry was built entirely on your fear of death, selling you miracle pills to paper over a lifestyle that is fundamentally broken. Massive corporations engineered a system that keeps you too busy, stressed, and exhausted to live a genuinely healthy life. And then they turn around and sell you placebo pills with the promise of buying that lost health back. The final secret is this: stop looking for salvation at the bottom of a plastic bottle. True health is found in how you walk, how you breathe, and the unprocessed food on your plate. We just walked through 42 meticulously designed scams engineered to drain your bank account and weaken your body's natural defenses. From useless vitamin C fizz to the fraudulent superfood industry, we have voluntarily funded our own delusions, all wrapped in a thin veneer of pseudoscience. But now, you're awake. Knowledge is the ultimate antidote to corporate medical manipulation. If there's a supplement myth or a vitamin lie I didn't cover, drop it in the comments below so we can tear it apart together. Hit that like button, share this video to rescue your friends from their overpriced medicine cabinets, and don't forget to subscribe as we continue to expose the systems built to mislead us. Finally, remember this: your body is a masterpiece of millions of years of evolution. Stop treating it like a test tube for pharmaceutical companies to play with. See you next time.